It's not your birthday yet. You can't be mean.
I don't like you.
It's funny because he means it. Yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Boneyard Arcade podcast. As always, I'm Lucky.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Grim.
And I'm Josh.
I almost didn't remember how to do the intro.
I almost forgot my name.
Did one of you guys say "and" on the way around?
Me?
Yeah, because I
don't know.
I thought you might have, and I was like, wait, does that mean? For some reason, I was like, is it my turn?
No, I said I'm, not
Maybe
and.
that's what it was. It threw me.
I'm.
It threw me.
I'll enunciate better
I
for
don't
you.
know. No. It's all right. I should really be on top of my game. It's 4 names, and I'm the end one, so...
Josh just hears what he wants to hear. Like, I'll
I
be
was
like,
thrown. I was...
Josh, can you take the bins out? He's like, yes, I do want to watch
I'd
the
love a
Grand
cup of
Tour
tea.
again. It's like,
Grand tour of what?
oh, the Grand Tour. It's an actual show.
The Grand Tour. It's
I'm thinking like Buckingham Palace, or is it like Formula One?
Chloe
you're
was
not far
immediately
off.
like,
I
Josh
mean,
wants to go watch the Queen.
Grand Tour is
Queen
kind
spotting.
of Buckingham Palace, and what was the other one? Yeah, that thing. Because it's Top Gear, so it's British. So you're almost there.
No, I'm not.
No?
Maybe. Next topic.
Okay, next topic. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Subscribe now because it's good. I swear to God. How have
gets
you all
better.
been?
Those opening minutes were anything to go by. Fucking amazing.
After 8 minutes.
But do you know what? Like, I've watched the podcast back so many times now. It's like it feels so janky when you're doing it, but then like you watch it back and you're like, it honestly feels normal.
Yeah, because we've
to
sold
watch.
the product as 4 fuckheads who talk shit, which is
That's
perfect.
what you have to do. You got to fucking take the standards and take them from up
Drop
here, and
them.
you fucking
It's
drop them all the way down here.
expectation management.
Exactly.
You gotta set
I'm
the
still
bar
a lady
low.
though, right?
You're a what?
Like, I'm still a lady, right?
Well,
I still have like... Don't!
Yes. Yes.
Chloe went from not wearing underwear to not wearing a bra. Yes.
How many times can we try to make Chloe put her hands in the air?
Chloe, put your hands in the air.
I'm not putting my hands
God
in
damn it! I thought it would
raise
be
your
that
hand if
easy.
you love Harry
Listen.
Potter. Oh,
I knew it.
Chloe's a fucking
Traitor.
fake Harry
Wow.
Potter nerd. She
you
doesn't
think you know someone.
I bet she
Traitor.
hasn't even read the books.
Guys, you made me cry.
I bet that she pretended to like Harry Potter, and when Dan proposed
be
with
cool.
the snitch, it wasn't even. She didn't even
She was
care.
like, fuck, I have to
No,
pretend.
dude, you're really making me cry. Why are you so evil?
It's his it's his birthday tomorrow, and his present is being mean to Chloe.
Yes, it is.
Worst day of your life so far.
How have you guys been, considering we don't quite know how to get an answer out?
I played Dungeons and Dragons the other day, and
Excellent.
it was kind of like a write-off episode, like session, because Dimitri couldn't play with us because drunk people were in their living room, and so it was just myself, Sammy, and King, and our DM Fabled, and I did drugs in
Oh,
Dungeons
cool.
and Dragons, and
I'm
I've
so
officially
proud.
done more drugs in Dungeons and Dragons than in real life. Peak nerd. Fucking, we had moldy bread. I was like, okay.
Wait, was that the drugs?
Yeah, the drugs were moldy bread that
Oh.
had like had hallucinogens.
Is that like a
in it.
nickname or is it
Oh.
legit
No,
moldy
it
bread?
was just moldy bread.
You know
We
you
were
can
like
have
shrooms.
moldy bread in real life too. It's still not drugs.
yeah, but this is Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay,
Anything
you
is
know,
possible
mushrooms that
there.
are drugs and mushrooms that are
There was-
delicious.
there was also
sides
mushroom
to your
bread.
English breakfast.
What are we doing English today?
Well, there was the bunny with the after 8. And
Have
cup
you
of tea.
fucking heard him talk ever?
There's your bunny. There you go.
Make sure you hold on to that real tight.
But yeah, I did
He's
drugs
got
in Dungeons
tea-tail.
and Dragons.
Green, he's British
It was
racing
good.
green.
That sounds good.
It was good. It was fun. I had
Was
a
it
good
a
time.
lasting effect or was it one of those like
It was cool
live for the
because
moment moments?
it was funny because we were like walking around and we were like, oh, the DM was like, you smell bread, and we're like, oh yeah, and so we went to this one bread shop and it was like good pure bread, and the tiny little gnome lady who sold it to us was like, yeah, don't go down that way, there's dirty bread down there, and we're like,
Yes!
fucking dirty bread, eh? And the whole session turned into, let's get the drug bread, and the DM's like, I never said it was drugs, and I'm like, yeah,
It fucking
but
better be.
it could be. So we get there and he's like, roll a constitution check, and it's like, fail. It's like, all right, you're high as fuck. It's like, yes. We just made the session about going to a bath and getting tugged off by water and then getting drugged up on bread. So that's how I've been.
Good.
That's a great
It's been
weekend.
That sounds
I've had a
great.
good time.
It's a very interesting week.
Don't you fucking look at me like that.
You're a special thing, aren't you?
I like her.
I mean, I like her too.
Chloe
but
likes me.
She's an interesting little whatever it
How
is.
have you guys been?
Let me fix it.
I was sick last week. I was like,
yeah, you guys
coughing
got fluey.
Yeah.
So fucking gross.
Yeah.
Asthma's
Disgusting.
not kind.
Chloe coughed on me when we saw the movie.
Oh
cough
my
on
god! I
you.
thought we were gonna catch your super AIDS.
I was not coughing on you. I
Giga
coughed
AIDS.
into my
Giga
hand.
AIDS.
You went, and it went.
I didn't.
I don't know.
When we sat next to each other when we went and saw The Weeping Woman.
having a
I'm
moment.
so sorry.
I was like, oh, they turned on the 4D effects, and I just realized I was being fucking coughed on.
when you said super AIDS, I thought you were just talking about catching Chloe's slutty clothing. Because
What?
it's super AIDS. It's just dumb. Sorry.
That is dumb. Leave. Get out.
What?
Get out of your
super
house.
AIDS.
Go
Okay, I
home,
get it.
even
I get
though
it.
you are.
I get it.
That was
Yeah.
fast.
Fuck me.
Does anyone need
You
to
guys went to the
change
Easter
my
show,
wardrobe?
Chloe.
Oh, sorry.
You went
We
to
did that.
Yeah,
You went to the Easter
there were
show.
goats. I cried. It was
Baby
great.
goats.
Okay.
We fed them for about an hour.
Tell me, has it changed any yet?
I don't know.
Not
Just went to the
really.
goats.
Just went to the goats. Okay.
No, it's exactly
Based
the
on
same.
last year, it was like I haven't been for a long time before last year, and
Yeah.
then based on last year, it's pretty similar. Like
Okay.
even the closing show thing, a lot of that was the same, or like the same elements, but like ramped up a little bit.
They're
Yeah.
spectacular.
The silk dancing thing was cool. They've made that better.
So they've done this thing at the Easter show where they get like a big hot air balloon, inflate it in the middle of the stadium, and all of these lyra acts and like silk acts
Yeah.
drape from the sides
Oh, cool.
of the basket.
Ooh, I've not seen
and they
that.
do the
pretty.
aerial acts on
Okay.
it. It's really, really
Okay.
cool.
I'm
And now
so
they've dotted
glad.
them all around the outer perimeter
Yeah.
too, so you actually
Oh,
have
cool.
one near enough to you that you can see it with your eyes instead of on a big screen.
It's
Oh,
mad.
that's actually
Cool.
so different
It's
for the
worse.
Easter
Like,
show.
if you're going to go to the Easter show,
They
go
had
in the
that
afternoon.
last year, but they've
Yeah,
made
yeah.
it
We'll
better.
stay. We go
It's just a little
morning.
bit more
Yeah.
like
We leave at night.
Yeah.
fancy.
We're there
I don't
all
know if they've
fucking
had
day.
that
Yeah.
for a long time or not. But
We went from Josh's place, and it takes like a year to get there.
Mhm.
yeah,
so-
it was a whole mission on a bus.
Yeah.
This is why I just drive.
Easter show needs trucker fucking Saurus again.
Do you remember? I was telling Josh, I was like, "Do you remember Truckosaurus?" He's like, I don't think I was there. For
I don't know. I
Truckosaurus."
may have been there, and I may not have.
It's a
I
gigantic mechanic.
would have been little though, wouldn't I?
No.
Oh, then no, I probably didn't see it
How many? That's like
because we
I
used to go a
reckon-
heap
Late
when I was a
90s?
kid.
I reckon you
Yeah.
and I would have been like 12, 13-ish.
because I remember it vividly. Like the cunt came out and he was on fire and shit, and
Yeah, he
like
used to-
fucking breathe.
and he'd pick
yeah.
up the car and
And he'd
hold
go-
it and he'd breathe fire onto
Yeah.
it. It's fucking cool.
I don't know what I'm
So
imagining
metal.
from The Simpsons.
Yeah,
what I've
yeah,
seen
there's
on
that
TV,
episode. Yeah,
like,
and that same shit happens. Yeah.
Maybe I saw it. Maybe I didn't. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
I had nightmares about
feel like that
Truckosaurus
would've
from
stuck
the
with me.
Easter show going into the parking lot and crushing the car that we were in, just like in The Simpsons. I had nightmares about that shit. So he came out and I'm like, fuck, I hope that cunt's not in the parking lot later.
Because I'm old.
Well, yeah, it's your birthday tomorrow
I have
of
been
the day that we're filming
It's
this.
true, actually. Yes, I've been to the Easter show before it was at Sydney Olympic Park.
What the
When
fuck?
it was at
Yeah.
Moore Park.
I didn't even think that that was a
In
thing.
I don't know this history.
was it Moore
Right.
Park? No, wait, it might have been the Sydney Cricket Ground.
I think I.
Yeah.
No,
I
that's
think I
still
would've
Moore
gone to
Park.
that.
It's still Moore Park, right?
Yeah,
Sydney
that's
Cricket
still Moore
Ground.
Park.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
They used to do a Batman show, and they have a clock tower, like the clock at the Sydney Cricket Ground, big
Mhm.
tall clock.
Yeah.
They used to have Batman, and I don't know if Robin joined him. I'm fairly certain. I remember seeing Robin as well. They used to like zip line down from that to the floor and fight the bad guys. It's
What
fucking
the fuck? That's
it's the fucking
hectic.
sickest.
That's so hectic.
Yeah. Now
That's
we
way
get
more
like
metal than that dude on
polo.
the motorbike.
Yeah. What?
they
The
still do
polo.
the motocross, like the
Oh
no, it's a dude
they
on a
got a
zip
guy on like a
line.
big zip line with
On a bike.
It's on a motorbike with no
Oh.
tires, and that motorbike has like on like a not a Ferris wheel. Is it a Ferris wheel? What's the circly one?
merry-go-round.
Merry-go-round.
You know how they've got the little horses? It's like two of those dangling from underneath it.
On either
Which,
side, with
if-
two
If you
bitches
think
on
about
So
it.
he's
physics,
balancing.
it's
And
then a
counterweighted
dude on
like
the
crazy
top.
on the
When you say
bottom.
bitches, do you mean cheerleaders?
I don't know, they're attractive
dancey
ladies. I really should have just said that.
Kind of like doing fancy pole dancey climby doos on them.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's cool.
The spectacular is pretty
but
fucking
it's
hectic.
cool.
the same as
Yeah.
last year.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have the fucking the
And
utes.
they have the kids. Oh, they had them. Yeah, they were doing like races from one
and
side
then
to
they
the
had
other. I hit
the death circle sphere
Oh, the
thing with
ball
the bikes.
thing.
They stuck 6 dudes in there on motorbikes.
It's not big.
It
Ooh.
was
The-
Squeezed them
rad.
in.
the death sphere or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
they call it.
the sphere of fear. I think
Oh,
they called
cool.
it this year.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So we vlogged it. I don't know if the video has gone up or not. That depends on us this week. And I don't know. We'll see.
It might. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll edit it on the plane. That I'm.
Oh, you're going to
you're
Malaysia.
going away.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, Josh.
How long
When's-
are you going for?
A week.
Yeah,
I'll be
it's a week.
back.
Did
Oh,
Right,
so I
I'll-
didn't think that you
I'll-
wouldn't be back.
No, our little fortnightly schedule will make this work.
you get your flu shot?
Not yet.
Mm.
Tomorrow, I think.
Gonna die of the goddess syphilis.
Just make sure you have your passport.
I went to China. I didn't die.
Yeah, but it's flu season.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
but I still didn't die. So I mean, I assume they've got Giga-AIDS over there as well, and could have infected me.
Probably
Giga-AIDS
worse.
everywhere.
We
There's a
really need to get
chance.
Giga-AIDS tested right now.
The terror AIDS.
It's
It's
mutated.
so horrible. This is so horrible. But every time, it's the word giga. Giga anything. Like giga pudding. That's the fucking funniest thing in the world.
Giga
Have
pudding.
you seen giga pudding?
No.
Oh my god.
So I
Putty
gotta
putty.
watch Giga
Giga putty.
Pudding.
Giga pudding. Yeah, look up
Okay.
giga pudding, and then the ad for it is this kid just screaming giga pudding, and it's Japanese, and it's fucking mental. I love it. It's
Okay.
the best.
Oh, I've got to show you a video after. It's this little Korean. I think he's Korean, and he just eats fuckloads of food. He's really fat,
I love.
and his
I
cheeks
love those.
poke out past his mouth.
Yes.
And he wears little round glasses and gold chains, and he just yells at the camera like this. It's fucking great. It's fucking great. If I can link it to you, we might be able to splash him up real quick.
Whatever
He's
you
yelling.
do, just don't go and say ni hao to him.
He's so.
Oh my god, that was fucking.
It's fucking politics. I love it.
Good on ya, ScoMo.
So our prime minister went up to a Korean lady and said ni hao.
Yep, and she's like, "I'm
And she's like,
Korean."
yeah, nah.
It's like, holy
bruh.
fuck.
And wasn't that fresh off like a
Oh, it was
racism
right.
rant?
Yeah, right after
Yeah.
he'd said that the opposing party was racist or prejudiced in some way.
in saying that the opposing party did have a racist incident as well.
They probably all did though, didn't
Yeah,
they?
I mean, I'm sure
They're all equally
I
bad.
mean, he came out of there and had a fucking racist moment. So,
I think if they would just put everything to the side and let me rule, it's the natural progression of things.
This is a
when I
concern.
come to power, a lot of things are going to change around here.
Taylor Swift cannot
For
be your
starters.
second lady.
Well, she could be
First.
my first lady. Then.
I was thinking the
I
same
Gabby,
had
thing.
you-
sorry,
I had
you've been
your back,
demoted.
babe.
I was thinking the same
Had
thing.
your back.
I'm getting married to Click.
Well,
Fuck
actually,
you,
no,
man.
she can't be because Emma Watson will be the
married.
first lady.
So cute.
Taylor Swift will have to be the third lady. Gabby, you get to go in the middle. It's going to be wonderful.
I'm gonna hit him.
Also, no more speed cameras, and on Tuesdays the roads are empty and only I get to drive on them.
That's fair. Me too.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
good.
But we got to be on separate chunks so we can go as fast as we want.
Probably can deal with that.
Yeah,
I think
you,
there's
you can
enough
have
space.
south of Sydney, I'll have north of Sydney. Then on Thursdays you can have west
Swap
and
it out.
east, and then on alternating
I'll
weeks
come
we
up,
swap.
come
Wait,
up your
what
way for a
beach does
different kind
Dan
of red
get?
rooster.
No, not
What?
beaches. This is just
Red
roads.
Rooster Line?
Yeah.
I was
We
about
can-
to sound like
the beaches
someone's
are
talking about
fine.
Red Rooster.
Everyone can walk to the beaches on those days
Wait,
too.
wait. Does Dan get the what side of the Red Rooster Line are we
Well, the
dividing?
shit cunt side, obviously. I'm more
No,
geared for
outside
it.
doesn't have a beach. I don't want that
No,
negotiation.
no. This isn't for keeps. This is just for the roads for the
Yeah.
day, so that I
That's
can
still
go.
important.
We got more
racing around.
Bunningses.
I've got a really good idea, and there's a really nice road in my area, like just north of where I live, and I want to shut it down and do a hill climb once a year.
Oh, that's fair.
I haven't actually proposed this to the government or the powers that be, but I'm sure they would say no. Unfortunately, because it's a brilliant bit of road, and it's really upsetting that you never get to drive
Talking
it
about
full
Macars,
tilt.
you know the place that we go to near Josh.
It's so
Yeah.
good. It's like perfect for MX-5s.
It
All
is
he
true.
does
Because
is
it's super
complain
tight,
the whole way
so you
up
don't
the
even
hill.
need overpower.
He'll be
brilliant.
driving it and he'll be like, "Oh, I love this bit of road," and then he'd be like, "Why
All
is
you
this
need-
bit 70 and not 170?"
No, it's 50. It's 50.
Well, whatever. It's the same.
And I would never go above the speed limit.
50 is
so
too slow.
don't worry about that.
50 is too slow.
Sorry. Making a point.
We saw movies.
Did we?
We should mention those movies.
Holy fuck, we did.
We should mention those movies.
Oopity doop.
Okay, so we
Start
saw
with...
The Weeping Woman and we saw.
Hellboy.
Okay, let's start with Hellboy.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Okay, fine.
No,
we can
no,
start-
that's fine. That's good.
I just want to get that
Yeah,
out of
let's
the
do
way.
it. Yeah, let's do it.
Because.
What do you mean?
All right, so I've been seeing really mixed stuff about Hellboy. Like, all I saw in the beginning after we saw it, and like we got a special screening preview thanks to Roadshow and Playmaker. Thanks, guys. And so when we saw it early, all I'd seen up until that point were negative reviews. People being like, "This is bullshit," you know, it's all over the place, blah blah blah. Recently on my timeline, an artist that I follow, I'm not going to name names, but this person just went absolutely batshit insane about how much they loved it and how critics got it so wrong.
Okay.
And I was like, I feel like, because I haven't seen the comic, like I haven't read the comics. I have the comics at home. I got them as a Christmas present. I haven't read them. But this person was just like comparing all of these little, you know, callbacks to the comics and things like that, and like the original movies and shit.
Yeah.
And like comparing styles and things like that, and being like, oh, they've got all these in jokes, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, yeah, but even with all those things, it's still not a fucking very
wasn't-
good
yeah, it
movie,
wasn't-
in my opinion,
Yeah.
writing wise. Like it plot felt a bit wibbly wobbly all over the place. My favorite part by far was the gore and the violence.
Yeah.
I was so there for people getting fucking ripped open by huge monsters and like getting stepped on. And there's a it's not really a spoiler, but there's a monster in it where it's going for a walk down the street and it's just impaling people on its legs, and it is fucking mortifying. And that was my favorite part of the whole movie. But other than that, I was like, I wanted it to be really cool because I like, what's his name, David Harbour?
Yeah, David
He's
Harbour.
really cool, and I'm into that. But I don't know. I just felt like I walked out. I'm like, yeah, I could see it again, and maybe, I suppose.
So I'll add to the David Harbour thing. I thought he did a great job as Hellboy. Like, he, to me, was very convincing to how the character should be, like this smart-assy thing that's trying to be good but is always presumed to be bad. But I think, like, we saw this movie at 6 o'clock in the afternoon or something, and I found it tremendously hard to focus because it was just so choppy the whole time. And like, I think we were 20 minutes in and I'm just like, I can't attach myself to this story, and I just think that I couldn't really find where the story was going a lot of the time. It almost tried to get you really, really deep here, but then backtracked over here, and then
went somewhere totally different.
And then, like, to me, the editing was so choppy. Like, it felt like you were flipping through a book. That's how fast everything went in every scene.
It was like they tried to kind of do as much as they could with the time that they had, and it's like, we want to explore all of this, like, because there's really cool lore, because obviously, like, all of these otherworldly characters and like creatures live in the world of like normal human beings, so it's like they have all this really cool lore that they could be exploring and stuff, but there's just too much. Like, it's like, what am I meant to look at here?
Yeah, I found it was very much like exactly that, where it was kind of a bit bland, didn't really have, like, there was no emotional investment in any of the characters or where it was going, and so it was really hard to connect with it. And like, just on a technical point, I thought the VFX looked really naff. Like, it was all a little bit like a decade behind the standard now. Like, if this movie came out in 2009, it probably would have been really well received. But the like animation wasn't quite right. I don't know if it was our cinema or it's just the way the audio mix, but the audio was really off. Like, the voices weren't quite right. Like, there were a few cheesy giggles and a little bit here and there that was like mildly entertaining, but overall it was like, I was kind of not looking to find out where it was going, but like just waiting for it to end. Because there was no real, like, it was hard to follow the plot. Like, it was hard to be invested in it or to care enough to follow the plot.
I think that was the biggest thing, being invested. I think I wasn't invested in any of the characters.
And I feel like for me particularly, they lost me from the start.
The very beginning, the opening sequence sucks a bag of dicks.
Who, I'm assuming all three of you have seen the original?
Yeah.
See, I haven't, so I don't know if that would have helped my viewing of it.
No,
but like,
I think the first
it didn't make me want to go back and find out.
Because the first two were done by Guillermo del Toro.
Who did Pacific Rim and like Pan's Labyrinth and things.
And so to go from those movies, they felt like they even had more of a serious tone, which I could see that they tried to go down a different path in this one. What lost it for me in this one was the opening scene. It features, I won't give away too much of it, but it features King Arthur. Fictional hero when it comes to knights and medieval times. For me, what killed it straight off the bat was they have a lot of money behind this movie. They've got a lot of money to do visual effects and have, Hellboy looking like Hellboy and all the powers and shit. But they walked up onto this hill at the beginning of this movie as knights and stood there. And as they stopped walking, King Arthur, who's supposed to be like this badass knight from like, fictional lore of history and shit, has stopped. And as he stopped, his little plastic helmet wobbled on his head, and I looked at it and went, the attention to detail is missing for me. Like,
just broke you out of the moment.
A Knight's Tale had like great costume department.
That was amazing.
And you can tell that their budget was probably not as high as a visual effects, led movie. But this movie had it throughout, and for some reason, not that it's like a personal thing against the actress or anything like that, but I just could not get into or believe
Mila Jovovich.
No, she's usually bad and stuff.
Alice. The girl who played
Alice. I just couldn't get into her as a character for some reason. I don't know what it was. She just, every time she spoke, every time she did something, it was so overacted.
It felt really robotic in a way.
And I just couldn't get into it. So I think unfortunately, as much as I like looked at it and went, people might love this. I was just lost from the beginning, and I think it was just the little things that pulled me out of it. And I just looked at it and went, I liked the old ones because the old ones felt like they had a bit of depth to them. The story had some depth. The writing had some depth. The actors didn't have to overact. They told the story nicely.
That said, I really like the way that Hellboy looked
Yeah.
in this one.
Yeah.
I think he looked sick. The arm was kind of like his big arm looked like a cosplay prop, like a really well done cosplay prop, but in film accuracy and like in the way that it didn't look like it had any weight to it, and it didn't move very much.
The texture was off for me.
Yeah.
I noticed that with the skin as well. It looked a lot like a painted arm. It didn't look like and I don't know if that's something where it's like the character is supposed to have like a human skin that's just red, or whether it's like this should be scaly, this should be like rough, this should have some sort of texture other than just human.
Yeah.
And so that was like, it looks a little cheap. Like they should have gone in there and done some effects to it.
Yeah, I really liked the arm in the older movies just because it had like that crumbled rock look to it.
Yeah.
It felt like something that a devil would have on their arm. Whereas this latest movie's one it looked like it had been pulled out of a cast and was made of fiberglass.
Yeah.
And had been painted, and just put in place. So
I don't know about anyone else, but did anyone find David Harbour's face makeup really off-putting? Because I found like he had no lips throughout the entire thing. And
I think that's kind of like from what I can remember.
Yeah, nah.
The art style in some of the comics books
Yep.
have him as very much that style, and that's why I kind of looked past it. I went and looked at my comics afterwards, and I'm like, okay, they kind of got that really like straight face, like really
With that
square set jaw, and like
it was like
It's very much
It's very comic book.
much a comic book.
Yeah.
look
okay,
thing.
Very much
in
comic
that
book.
case,
Yeah.
that's fair. But yeah, like I just remember
It's
seeing him
weird.
look like
Yeah, it's like
that
he's got
the
no
whole
Yeah, he
lips.
couldn't shut his mouth at any point, kind of thing.
yeah.
Which I was like,
I saw him try and eat a Big Mac. Couldn't do it. Tiny baby hands. All right, so
Chloe, please.
just before we do a break for our next review, what would you rate it out of 10?
First,
Anybody? Everybody say it at once, all right? 3, 2, 1, 6.
4.
5, maybe? I don't know, not even, nah. You know what?
Gave it the
we gave a
highest.
spectrum.
Jeez.
Yeah, nah.
I think you need to be a big Hellboy fan to get something from this movie, and that's because you'll probably know what to look for.
Yeah.
And you'll be
agree.
picking out little bits you really like from it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're not a Hellboy fan but you're going to be entertained, you're going to probably still be entertained but come away going, I would have been okay not seeing that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not like keen to go back and see what I missed.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I was too frustrated to want to see that again.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I know. I was really hoping I was going to find like another, new franchise that I'm like, oh, this is really good.
Might be one of those movies that if you watch it a second time, you can pull from it something special once you've
Maybe.
seen it the first time.
Like I was
Yeah.
hoping it would be like Shazam. I went in and I was like, no, I'm not going to like this. And then I came out like, oh, I really enjoyed that.
God, I'm still
Didn't
seeing
happen.
good reviews for Shazam, and I'm fucking shitting my pants. I'm like, holy fuck, DC finally did it.
Yeah, it's good.
And every time I see one of our mates, I think it was Fid, put something about like, I still haven't seen Shazam and I don't plan to. And then it was just a sea of people going, no, it's really good. You've got to go and see it. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't normally weigh in on this stuff, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Go see it.
All right, speaking of movies that we enjoyed, we're going to take a quick break and come back with a review of The Weeping Woman, Don't Go Away. Or do I? Don't care. And welcome back.
Whoa, hang on a second.
Ooh.
Do we need a second intro?
No, I got it to...
Was your
Oh,
tit
good,
out?
good,
No.
good.
But I think I slapped my own boob more than his
Ow,
hand.
Jesus
Stop it.
Christ.
Okay.
I can't see what is happening on this
Can't
side
see
of
it,
my
it's fine.
face.
I'm making it... There's
Don't worry.
very much control of
I'll keep
lifting
an eye
here
on
going.
it for you. Just looking out for you.
So good to stretch.
Oh man, I just love being able to put my
You're meant to have my back.
I can touch my back. Can you? All right, let's review this other fucking movie that we went and saw. We went and saw The Curse of the Weeping Woman. I believe it has a different name in different parts of the world.
Oh,
but
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Spanish, like La Loña, or
yeah.
whatever the name
cool.
of the
Yeah,
woman was.
yeah,
Curse
cool.
of
Okay.
La
La
Loña.
Loña.
Yeah, makes sense. I get it.
So a horror movie in the Conjuring universe.
But connected? Doesn't feel connected.
Very
Was it connected?
barely. The main connection was just the priest who was
Okay.
also in the nun.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's
So
the same peeps but different parts.
Okay, so
No
there's
warrants.
a connection, but there's no like major
no
shout outs to the
Hey,
stories.
show of hands. Who likes the Conjuring universe?
oh man, Chloe, I thought
Almost.
you liked them.
No, you guys are just killing me.
You know what? I'm going to bring me and you plus one next time.
Oh.
'Cause you don't even want to put your hands up.
It's not your birthday yet. Don't be an asshole.
What do you do at the top of a roller coaster?
Put your arms up in the air and fucking enjoy yourself.
The one day I picked a shirt that has like sweat stains, and
for a
I'm
good
like,
cause.
get up there.
It's for a good cause. All right, so The Curse of the Weeping Woman.
All I can think of is trying to get Chloe to raise her arms now, and I'm just like,
No.
for some, okay. So
How did you feel about it?
I've been really, really enjoying horror movies in like recent years. I know there was a kind of a surge in like the Paranormal Activity movies where I was kind of like, sure, it's fun the first time around, where it's like, it's, you know, heaps of jump scares and like, you know, not much else to it really, but I've loved the Conjuring universe so much because it's brought lore into things where it's not just like, haha, your house is fucking haunted with paranormal spirits. I want to steal your baby because everyone has a baby. They have a fucking 12-story house in America, and there's always a spooky staircase
And a basement. Gotta have a basement.
But the Weeping Woman, it just feels like it was a glimpse into like South American lore when it came to paranormal spooky stuff. And so that was really cool to kind of to see and explore, and the movie was just good. I enjoyed it. I had a fun time, mostly because I was sitting between Josh and Chloe.
Yeah.
And they were going
Yeah.
I maintained my composure for the most part.
No,
but the lady next, like one seat down from me, she was thrashing about
Fucking
every
yeah.
time
She was
anything
doing
would
like this
happen.
one.
She
She
was
was
doing the
going-
full...
Oh my god.
And
Serious?
she'd like jump a little bit and then kick her legs out and jump some more. And it was just like, Jesus Christ, woman.
You ever seen when you have
I
you
thought
ever
I was
been
bad.
fishing and you bring a fish onto the boat and it fucking flops around
yeah,
and
yeah.
it goes ape shit because it's like, oh no, I'm gonna die. That was this woman.
Is that woman?
Yeah.
See, I was
Just out of the
squealing.
blue. Just
Yeah.
screaming. And there was somebody at the back who was like, Jesus.
There was a woman behind us going, oh my god.
Oh my
They
god.
kept on laughing at me because I kept on squealing.
It was pretty funny to be. I laughed at you a lot.
Like with me in horror movies, so yeah, I'm generally afraid of them, but since dating him, I've developed somewhat of a tolerance to
Right.
most of them.
Yep.
So I still get scared, but like rarely is a time where I'm just like, ah! Ee! And
Yeah.
that I found myself doing that a lot during this one. I know that when Dan and I were driving home, like jump scares to him are not like
They're not everlasting.
Yeah,
it's you're scared for the
always,
moment.
Yeah,
And
it
a lot
doesn't
of the
always
time you know
add-
they're coming. Like
Yeah.
you know it's like okay, it's dark there. We're looking here. Something's gonna pop out there.
Shit goes
See,
silent.
I
And you're
hate
just
that.
waiting for the moment. It's like, is it going to be 10 seconds from now? Is it going to be like right on, you know?
No, I truly dislike those moments because
Yeah?
because I'm anticipating it. I'm just like, don't be scared. Oh my god, I'm scared.
You can just drop your eyes.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Just immune. I have a shield. No ghosts can get me if I can't see
If I
them.
can't see it, it can't hurt me.
Exactly. That's why you hide under a blanket when there's a murderer.
That's how you get gigas.
Stab proof.
In saying that, I did enjoy being scared throughout the movie. Again, though, because I do love the Conjuring universe
Yeah.
a lot. Like, I think that added to why I love it. Liked it, I should say. Dan?
It's my
She
turn.
just retconned
Yeah,
the
it's my
love
turn.
bit.
Yeah, just
I
pulled
need to
away
be
from the
careful
love.
what I say love because I love The Conjuring.
Yeah, that's true.
I love The
actually.
Conjuring, but I didn't love La Loña, whatever this one is.
Yeah, I thought it was.
El
I thought it
Nino.
was good.
Yes, Josh.
We'll call it El Nino.
Isn't that a weather pattern?
Yes.
Chupacabra.
Trooper thingy.
Diablo.
Yeah, that's what I said. Chupa thingy.
I thought it was. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I like the Warrens.
Yeah, me too.
And I like the Conjuring universe. I thought this was pretty good. It was a good horror movie.
Yeah.
And if you like don't like horror movies, then this is like good for you because it's like it's legit scary. Anything that's supernatural is like fucking. It's easy method of scares.
Yeah, easy
You-
pickings.
Anything you can sort of go, well, I don't believe in it, but then you see it and you're like, but what if it is real?
Yeah. I think it's like get a haunted house, get a family, make it nighttime, turn off all the power in the house, and have this thing floating around and popping up in random places.
Can I just add, like, anything to do with kids, like, getting the raw end of the deal always fucks me up for a movie.
Really?
Yes, like that opening scene, for example, in the movie, that really screwed me for the rest of the movie.
That was actually pretty,
Oh, yeah.
pretty
No,
horrific.
it broke me.
Yeah, that was
Really?
good.
Yeah.
Good opening bit.
Yeah.
I didn't. It's not that I didn't find it scary. I did, but like, I didn't find it as psychologically scary as some of the other Conjuring universe movies. Like
Yeah.
those, I think from memory, they're the ones that have been doing me in most in recent times. And this one was still really like, you know, it had its moments. It was scary and it was a good film. Like,
Yeah.
but I was proud of myself for not being too scared by it. It was a comfortable amount of scary and it was still enjoyable.
It makes me wonder because it kind of came out of nowhere as well. It's like we've got all these big Conjuring movies. We've got like the side movies that come from those Conjuring movies, like The Nun and Annabelle, and apparently they're going to do the Crooked Man.
Ooh, that will.
They've been talking about that for a while.
And so like they've got all these big characters from those movies that are like side compartments to those major movies. This one came out of nowhere. It makes me wonder whether we're going to have like the Weeping Woman injected into a storyline somewhere down the track where, you know, they manage to, it's a fucking supernatural world. They can do anything they want with these characters.
Or it's the same ghost in some other body and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. That was something I noticed, or I'd written down as a note for Hellboy. Can any movie be standalone anymore? Because I feel like everything has to be a trilogy. Yeah. Everything is just like setting it up. Even if it fails, it's setting it up for that like 1, 2, 3 movies down the track where they want to go, we'll milk this thing. You know, people will still come and see it.
It's funny because I think we're caught at the moment in a time of universes. Yeah. Everyone lives for movies that are part of a bigger universe or they're all connected in some way.
Yeah, 100%.
There was a rumor a few years ago, it might have been a couple of years ago, I don't know, and whether they're even considering still doing it, of connecting the Men in Black universes, or because there's going to be universes now because we're going to have a second set of Men in Black characters. Connecting that with the 21 Jump Street story and having those universes exist those stories exist in the same universe.
The 21 Jump Street is in the reboot, like the
Jonah Hill.
Okay.
Nemesis and Doug McQuaid's.
Yeah. Wow. Having that sort of team up with the Men in Black storyline and having them run alongside each other, kind of being like there are aliens hiding out in a fucking university somewhere, and then the street cops are chasing the human versions of these aliens, but the Men in Black also need to work with them to work on the alien. It's like they spoke about it, but it's just like it shows that in this time, universes are a fucking thing.
Yeah.
So to know that you're seeing a movie that could potentially be connected to something that you can get excited about later, where they might cross paths, is like we fucking live for it. And I blame Marvel because
100%.
they're so that's their existence in cinema. You know,
that's
on
their
cinema
whole
screens.
spiel. At the end of a Marvel movie, they sneak in an Easter egg about a character that exists in the same universe, and everybody fucking comes in their pants.
That's it.
Like, hey, we're gonna have a trilogy of them now.
It's like,
and then later we're gonna make a giant movie where they all come together.
it's like,
And what's fucked
and then 3
is
of those.
You might remember when we watched the Weeping Woman when it finished, we sat around until the lights turned on after the credits, and we went we were like waiting because they had the credits fucking rolling, but the lights were off, and we were like, oh, sick. Connection to the universe that it's a part of.
Gimme.
And, you know, just like so that no one sits around and waits, there's literally like nothing after the credits.
Is there anything at the very, very, very end? Because we left
didn't wait. But they turned the lights
maybe 70%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
get the fuck out of cinema.
It was when the music was getting credited. So like you're most of the way done at that point. You're like, okay, well, it's probably going to be 2 seconds, if anything.
Yeah. And so like now we kind of expect to sit around and see some kind of a connection.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hang for those moments. I love it when they connect shit. I think it's sick. But Weeping Woman was a bit like, I thought it was cool, but I still think they relied too heavily on the classic approach to supernatural horror films.
The formula.
Yeah. You have the ghost, you have the house, shit happens, stuff gets quiet, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you get a face or a scream or and it happened like pretty consistently.
Yeah.
Great for people who enjoy
take your friends to go and like
it's a Friday night on the wine kind of thing. Like you go out,
I'm Bev, let's go to the cinema and see a fucking spooky movie and scream at it and throw popcorn and
get
shit.
scared stupid because that's what we want on a Friday. Like that's what I literally said that at work as well. People were like, how was it? And I was like, go on a Friday after some drinks and just go there to get scared.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
I think it was good.
Yeah.
I definitely think it was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't like super standout, but it definitely was a good film. Like I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
So are we giving our ratings for this one then?
Yeah, go on.
I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up.
I was waiting for it.
I'm going to give it a 7.
Oh,
7.
that's pretty good.
7 thumbs up?
7.
Like
just 7.
Just 7. All right. Yeah, I'd say it's up there with like your 7s or 8s when it comes to a good time out. I like it.
It's a good fun bit of horror. It's like, you know,
I've seen worse horror.
Example.
Wait, I can't think at the top of my head.
Let's think of bad horror movies that we've seen.
Wait, what's on Netflix right now?
Toy Story.
That's not a horror movie.
It isn't?
The 4th one.
Well, that was why it was bad.
Hey, don't insult Lotso. He was a bit of a wholesome
The
fun.
third one makes me sad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's fucked.
Time.
I don't like crying.
It just gets to me.
I'm keen for the next one.
Wait, you cried in Toy Story?
No.
Oh.
No.
Number 4.
Really hopeful.
I've seen the trailer now, and I'm a little bit concerned because I don't actually think it looks that good.
Nah.
I like
And I'm upset by that because I
a
don't want them
different
to
take.
spoil it. Like, I know that's that whole thing of don't let things retroactively spoil it. And it won't spoil the first ones, but I just don't want them to, you know, mess up a cherished childhood
Josh
memory.
is feeling the way that people feel about like Ghostbusters and Star Wars and shit.
But
It is.
I think it's what I feel is not that it'll mess up the old ones, but more like if you're gonna do it, don't do it because you just want to reboot a franchise you know will
Make some
make you
money
money.
on it. Yeah.
It's like do it because you actually have a genuinely good story. You've come up with something new, something worth making, not just making money.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% there because
What are you
personally,
doing?
I think Toy Story 4 is,
It is a big
for lack
nose.
of a better term right now, a waste of money. Because Toy Story 3 ended it the way I think you would end any trilogy. It was a
actually.
very ideal, wonderful
You're
ending,
right.
especially because like it was about Andy and his toys.
Yeah,
and to
and he
close
grew
off,
up.
and to close off Andy's story like that, it was perfect.
And
Yeah.
it came
Absolutely
out so
perfect.
far away from the first two. It was like it waited till the audience from the first two were at that age and then went, we're going to really tug at your heartstrings now. And I'm so glad I didn't see that in cinemas because I was going to go. I went with my best mate from preschool. We went and saw 1 and 2 in 3D in the
Cute.
lead up to it. And I was so glad we didn't see 3 together because that would have been a little embarrassing.
been.
I would have probably cried on him.
Did you hold his hand?
Well, in 1 and 2?
Maybe.
Probably your
Well,
kids.
No, we were like
Ah,
15, 16,
Ah,
17.
okay.
Maybe we might have been
So they were
in
holding
uni.
each other's dicks.
Whenever it was coming out, I
It
was
was that
that
experimental
many
phase.
old. Well, he did cut a hole in his popcorn, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait, what?
wait, what?
That's how you get the really saucy popcorn.
broke the chair.
I was fixing my shoelaces because obviously I'm going somewhere while we're doing a podcast. Oh, Jesus. How did we get on to Toy Story from...
I don't know.
Woman.
But
Because
since we're on
trilogies
movies,
and-
I wanted to tell you all that I already know what happens at the end of Marvel.
Oh, please, no.
Hush.
Oh, sorry,
I mean,
no.
Endgame.
Avengers Endgame.
Hush.
I should probably watch Infinity War, shouldn't I?
You should
Yes.
probably do that. Yeah.
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 I
And then if
can't-
you want, I'll tell you what happens at the end of
I
Endgame.
can't fucking believe 10 days out from the movie. When we recorded this, it was like 10 days out from the movie. Somebody fucking leaked like all of the important
Why,
points.
dude? Why? Like, you don't do that. It is such a dick move to do the internet. I know you fulfill your curiosities and you're fine with it, but just let people be surprised.
I think they do it because they get the reaction you're giving.
Fuck you.
Do you remember when
Stop it.
4chan
No, I think
got a
it's-
hold of the... Was it the last Harry Potter book? It was one of them. It was maybe the 5th. And they put every key like detail of Dobby dies, Hedwig dies, all these things. They put them in comments all over YouTube and you couldn't avoid it. And I saw certain bits and I was like, I'm very upset that I've seen that.
I'm so glad I wasn't tech savvy back then.
It was a whole thing. They flooded the internet with it just to spoil it because it was funny.
I ruined the 6th one for myself because, like, I remember the day it came out, I was at a sleepover at a friend's house and my mum was picking me up and she was buying the book for me that morning. But my friend's mum obviously bought her copy and I went to go get changed in her room. I saw the book there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to just look at one page, open it up, Dumbledore dies.
You opened to a middle page? You're a lunatic.
Oh, no.
I was so stupid.
Wow.
Why would you do that? It's like being like, I'm going to put the DVD in and I'm going to skip to 75% of the way through and just see what's going on.
Just did this and it fell there.
Oh, God.
Hey, did
Chloe,
you know that if you sit like at, what degree angle is this?
90?
90-degree angle and you put your hands above your head, that's
Not
how tall you are.
working.
Yeah, and I'm not that tall.
I'll sit at 90 degrees. I will not oblige
I'm
to
Hey,
just
Chloe,
anything else.
fucking
high five.
Fuck off,
Don't
John.
leave me hanging.
You gonna leave him
Jeez, I
hanging
thought
like
you
that?
were cool.
Fuck.
Wow, Chloe's a fake geek girl.
Stop hurting
She
me.
doesn't like Harry Potter. She doesn't like the Conjuring universe.
Guys, I think we should all just stand up and like put our arms together,
Jump
take
around a
bow.
little.
Jump around.
How excited are you for?
I'm gonna
No,
jump up and
You're-
get
it's not
down.
happening.
You read my mind. I really wanted to jump around.
So Endgame.
No.
I can't fucking believe it. I was so when I saw like a 10-second snippet of the spoiler. I
Yeah.
saw it on Twitter and then immediately was like, "Hey, don't go on Twitter. It's shitty." And then I saw it like 10 minutes later. Dan posted, he's like, "Hey, I'm going looking for the spoilers. I won't share them or say anything about it."
No, I know. I've seen him,
That's fine.
and it was a 4.5 minute video of like 8 to 15 second snippets throughout the whole film. They just picked different moments and like showed it shit off.
So devastating.
So I've seen like parts, And I feel like the parts I've seen tell me a lot of what I'm going to see already, like throughout the whole film. So
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Don't even have to go and watch it now.
yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm not missing out considering I'm not going on the opening day. I'm still going to enjoy it though.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Game of Thrones? Was that a good thing to return to?
I've heard mixed things. I don't watch like a lot of
Right.
Game of Thrones. I've seen episodes here and there. I watched a
totally
little
watch
bit
some
of
with me.
I watched a little bit of like on Monday night's episode last week because this will come out next week. But yeah, I thought it was like, for someone who hasn't watched the whole thing, I thought it was pretty cool, but I sat here not watching much of the series as it went forward and still managed to tell Chloe what was coming next in the episode.
So,
Just
quick
because.
question. So, if you think the series has sort of like been here most of the way through, just show of hands, would you reckon it like the new season's here, or is it better? Is it up here?
I'd say it's probably a little higher
Chloe,
up.
Yeah, like
I think it's like up here where my head is. Stop.
bitch.
I needed to react. But, wait, was that a serious question,
hand-based
Josh?
opinions.
No.
Only hand-based opinions
comment.
count.
No comment then.
I thought it was cool. You know what I really appreciate about Game of Thrones? Besides the nudity.
I was going to say the pornography.
Besides the nudity. I really like the costumes.
Yeah.
I think
They
they're
look
like the
like they're
costume
well
department
done.
just fucking does a pretty good job.
I was
Everyone
really
looks-
expecting him to say the incest.
No, well, that comes as part of the nudity.
There was someone at my office today trying to justify the incest, how it's okay to fuck your auntie, just not your sister.
It was back then.
No joke. Okay, my first 2 hours at work today was all about Game of Thrones, and that was a solid 25 minutes on justifying fucking your auntie.
It's never okay to fuck your auntie.
But it was back then. Now we're all Lannisters now.
Isn't that how the whole royal family is? Is like slightly inbred because they're all like one step removed and then they shag again and they make more royal.
Yes. No, that was a very
You can't
ancient
dilute royal
Egyptian
blood.
thing, by the way.
You got to keep it all.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family to keep it pure.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Otherwise
'cause
you
of
end up
all
with
pe-
riffraff.
of all people-
Giving my throne up to some fucking non-blood cunt.
Well, I'm messaging Meg today, and she's just like, "That girl has done the good thing. She needed to get that John dick." I'm like, "She's fucking her nephew." She's like, "I'd do it." I'm
Hang
like,
on,
"Oh
hang on,
God,
hang on.
no,
Was that a season 8 spoiler?
no."
No,
Okay, good,
'cause
'cause I
they're,
don't
like-
actually know. Because if
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
is,
That's a season
someone's
7
beeping that
spoiler.
out.
Yeah,
oh,
no,
cool.
no.
Well,
That
don't
was
worry
a
about
whole
that,
year and a
guys.
half ago.
You should have watched it if you care.
Shit happened ages ago. It's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I thought it was cool for what I saw. I don't know if it had any big moments because I didn't give a fuck, but it's all right.
Loose.
And I wasn't even here for the nude bits. Were there nude bits in the first episode?
There was a very big foursome in the
I
mix.
thought you were going to
there.
say very big foreskin.
Yeah,
I
I
was
thought
like
that
one that
too.
you can stretch out like a trampoline
like-
and like
Yeah.
firefighters
They,
can
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
they
yeah,
start
yeah,
the
just
shot
fucking-
like close up in, and it just sort of
like a
fades
wedgie
from like the
with-
back of a horse into this just
fucking
grey
hook it onto
blue
your
thing.
cheek
It's like
and go, "Alright."
zooms out, it's just like freezing
Can you-
knobs.
can you get
Winter
your-
is coming.
That's how they used to carry water back then.
I feel like on that disappointment,
Wow.
we should end the show. Guys, remember if you'd like this to subscribe and leave us a comment or whatever, you can follow us and all of the social media links below. We will be back eventually with another podcast. Stay tuned for it. It'll be probably great and foreskinny and
Fill our comments section with different ways you'd get Chloe to lift her arms in the air.
that's it. That's it. That's
I
all
want
we
to see as many creative ways as possible.
Put your hands up!
Now everybody wave goodbye.
I love this city.
Why are you doing this to me? You know how much I love that song.
Put your hands up for Detroit. Okay, bye now.
That's not even up, you liar. At least salute the sky.
No, that's what the Nazis
Come on.
did.
Ah.
Raise the roof. Raise the roof.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.
Game over.